type of pitches where you want to actually hit the pitch. Don't want to be looking to bowl Yorkers or slower balls early on. I'd be looking to hit the pitch, and I think when Douthwaite's hit the pitch here, he's looked much better.
Here he is again then. Comes over the wicket, bowls, and he's just going to get 4 runs. He's tried to hammer it through mid-off and gets a thick outside edge, runs away for 4, expensive over that. And they were putting inside Sussex, Steve, and I think tonight they realised just what you've said. And every side that's batted first here, Kent got a meagre score, 140, won the game. Glamorgan against Surrey, same sort of score, won the game. So probably they want to get the runs on the board and get their bowlers to take advantage of it.
Yeah, I mean, I watched that. I was here for that Kent game, and that wasn't a very good pitch at all. But I'm not suggesting this is similar. This looks a better pitch, but they don't look like absolute belters, do they? I think that's the point I'm trying to make.
David Lloyd is going to come into the attack in the 4th over. As Glamorgan use their 4th bowler, and Lloyd is in to bowl to Salt, who drives and gets 4 again off a big thick edge, and this one flying over wide. 3rd man, very fortuitous, Steve.
Yeah, it's an interesting move though, bowling David Lloyd in the power play. Did that happen last night as well? Or
Lloyd is in to bowl to Salt, who drives and gets 4 again.
Generally, I think Lloyd has been underused in T20 cricket, but I would have thought bowling in the power play was quite a difficult ask.
In comes Lloyd again and bowls, and that's cracked through the offside for 4 more. So Salt joining in the boundary hitting fun, and Sussex moving on to 36 without loss at the start of the 4th.
I just think someone with with his pace, he's basically medium pace, isn't he?
Yeah.
Only 2 fielders allowed out in this power play, and they've got a deep square and a deep mid wicket. They're going to be looking to go down the ground, aren't they?
Lloyd in again, bowls, and that is hammered to mid-off. Ingram will have a shy, just misses at the non-striker's end. I think the batsmen were home anyway. Single taken by Salt, wearing number 28, mid-white number on the back of a jazzy light blue affair that Sussex wear. 37 for naught. Salt 15, right 20, 2 experienced players at the top of the order. Head, Visa, Bopara, plenty of experience there.
Yeah. Just change of field. They've gone with a 3rd man instead of the deep mid wicket, so they've got a deep square who's coming in front of square now, and a 3rd man.
Lloyd to bowl to right on 20 not out. 4th over of the game here on BBC Sport Online, and that is cracked away through the offside for 4 more. 3 boundaries in very quick succession off David Lloyd. 13 off the over, and Glamorgan's bowlers are struggling, Steve.
Yeah, as I say, I'm not sure about this boy bowling Lloyd in the power play. It's a big ask. He's already gone for 3-4s in this over, isn't he? Sussex off to the flyer here, isn't he?
He'll do well to drag this one back. They sure are. As this one's played down towards backward point, there's a diving stop by Salter, and at last a dot ball for the Glamorgan cause. Last ball coming up to the 4th over with 41 already on the board.
Just makes it so much easier as a batting side when you get off to this sort of start. Really takes the pressure off, doesn't it? But they'll still be looking to capitalise for these last 2.1 overs as well.
That means the middle order can play with fewer hang-ups, doesn't it? Lloyd bowls, and that is hit over mid-off. It's not quite time, but it'll still go all the way by Luke Wright. And a brilliant over from Sussex, pretty disastrous from the Glamorgan point of view, as the visitors gallop on to 45, I believe, although it's disappeared off the board. 4 4s and a single in the over.
I did mention at the start, didn't I? I thought that was a brave move. Obviously, hasn't proved a particularly good move, has it? Because that really has kick-started this Sussex unit. 45 for no wicket after 4 is some start, isn't it? Glamorgan are going to have to strive for wickets now. That's the only way to drag this back now.
Sussex are glad to get out there, I suppose. They've had 10 games played in inverted commas. They've actually got a result in only 5 of those. 1-3, lost 2, and 5 rain-offs. As this one from Walker is dug in short and hooked around for 4 runs by Phil Salt, and Glamorgan's power play is pretty disastrous so far.
Yeah, you wonder what the plans are here at the moment, don't you? I must admit, I can't. So, Nick, can you tell me where the two fielders are out? Because I can't see at the back of the box.
Square leg and mid-wicket.
Yeah, okay.
Yep. Crowd trying to urge Glamorgan onwards. As that's down leg side, that'll be called wise. It was attempted sort of leg stump Yorker length, but just off target from Walker.
Problem is, you can almost lose the game in the first power play if it goes horribly wrong.
Yes, almost doing so at the moment. 19 to Salt, 28 to right. Walker in to bowl to Salt, who lofts this one over mid-on. One bounce, two bounce, three bounces, skips over the ropes. Four more, and Sussex certainly are playing with the confidence that Glamorgan seem to lack at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good shot, isn't it? But slightly too full. If I was Walker, I'd just be looking to hit a good length. It seems a little bit in the pitch when you do that.
Walker charges towards us, bowls again, and missed shot from Salt. It trickles up to mid-on, and they go through for a single.
May have been a slower ball, but it was a much better length anyway.
So well backed up by Callum Taylor. I think was caught awkwardly by that. Maybe on the ankle. He's limping around, Callum Taylor.
Brilliant fielder, Callum Taylor, isn't he? Saw him when the academy played Newport at the start of last season, actually. Fielded superbly in that game.
Yes, he's been in and out of the side. There's Walker bowls and hit up to mid-on and just over by Luke Wright. Well, that really was stand and deliver. There wasn't a lot of footwork involved, and Sussex are just raining boundaries at the moment here at Sapphire Gardens. Everything is coming off. Even the edges are going for four, and the slight miss hits. And Sussex move on to 59.
It's gone full again there, though, isn't it? It's only just cleared mid-on, but it was enough.
Still in the power play. Superb for the visitors. Defensive shot for once from Luke Wright.
Better length, wasn't it?
Plays it straight to Salter at short mid-wicket. 59 for naught.
Sometimes you can overcomplicate things in this game. It looks to me a bit as if Glamorgan have been overcomplicating things this evening.
I'm not sure if their heads or their bodies are more scrambled at the moment after long coach journeys on the last 2 days. Walker bowls and another edge for 4 runs. Down to third man, 63 for naught after 5 overs.
Yeah, I mean, that is genuinely unlucky. There've been a couple of those, haven't there? But Sussex are off to absolute flyer here, Nick, aren't they?
Yes, you do wonder how Glamorgan are going to prevent this from being a minimum of 180.
So, I mean, it'd be interesting to see who's going to bowl this over now. It's going to be Andrew Salter, isn't it? But I mean, they're going to go really hard now. They won't be knocking this over around, will they? This last over the power play.
Well, it is a team you feel seem bowler light without Van der Hoogten resting ahead of Sunday's championship match. Hogan not being used in this competition. Rory Smith out injured. James Wheeler's been going at more than 10 and over. Salter bowls, and Salt plays gently to mid-wicket for a single. Roots comes in and does the fielding. Just wondered whether they might recall Hogan for this, since it's a home match. But I suppose the argument that you might as well give youngsters experience when you're out of the competition is a fair one.
So, I saw Michael Hogan this week down at Newport. He's playing for the second team against Leicestershire. They stuck Leicestershire in and then fielded for 165 overs.
There's a sweep towards just past square leg. Thought Walker might be in business there for a moment, but whacked away for 4 more. 68 for naught. Right goes to 40.
There have been some close shaves, haven't there? Because I thought for a moment that was going straight to him. There have been some edges, but they've they've played their shots, they've been aggressive and very positive. And virtually everything they've tried has come off, isn't it, for Sussex?
Well, even the ones that have been off the edge have gone for 4. 68 for naught. Salter to Luke Wright, 36-year-old captain in this format. As it comes down the wicket and hits him over long off for 4 more. 72 for naught.
They only allowed 2 fielders out, so they've got long on and deep mid wicket, haven't they? So Luke Wright's just targeted that long off area, just knows he's only got to get it over. Mid off is on the edge of the circle. He's done that quite easily.
It is a fairly risk-free operation, isn't it? Salter in right, carves it away for 4 more down to backward square. Well, this is horrible from a Welsh point of view, Steve.
Yeah, I think he tried to bowl that one a little bit slower, didn't he? It was just too short, and Wright just rocked back and pulled that away for 4. Yeah,
72 for naught.
as I said earlier, you can sometimes lose a game in a power play.
Sussex galloping 76 for naught, apologies. We're still in the 6th over as that one is cut down towards backward point, and ironic applause from the crowd as Morgan get a dot ball.
Yeah, that's not very nice, is it? You don't like that as a player. You know things aren't going well.
Salter to right, who chips it up towards long on. In comes Carlson, and they'll take a single. 77 for naught at the end of the power play here on BBC Sport Online from Sophia Gardens. Salt on 25, Wright already on 49.
Well, basically, when Sussex sat down before the game and said, "Well, we're going to win the toss, and we're going to aim to have a good power play," I don't think they could have dreamt they'd have been 77 for no wicket in the end of that power play. Everything has gone right for them. Total opposite for Glamorgan. When they sat down, they'd been looking to get at least 3 wickets in that power play. They haven't got one. 77 on the board. It's a long way back for Glamorgan. You never know. I mean, Sam Pearce is coming on, isn't he? Grab a wicket and things can change, but the momentum is only heading one way at the moment, I'm afraid.
At this rate, you're looking at 200 plus. Yeah, Sam Pearce, who impressed us all last night, comes in, bowls it, and the leg break lands exactly where he wanted it to, and is just pushed away for a single. And that is Wright's 50, and that 50 coming up, I make it in 24 balls, Nick?
Correct.
Now then, his default assault hasn't been quite as punishing, but he's ridden his luck, has Wright, but he's on to 50. Pearce comes in, bowls, and that's hammered away through the offside, but this time it'll be fielded by Carlson on that extra cover boundary.
I mean, he started well there, Pearce, isn't he?
Yeah.
The advantage he's got is probably most of these players won't have faced him before.
Exactly. Right. And he comes again, and this time is hit firmly down towards long on. It's the single, and at least Glamorgan have the luxury now of having fielders on the boundary. Salt back on strike on 26. Pearce bowls to him. It's short, too short. He's pulled away up to the mid-wicket boundary. It's fielded just inside the boundary. Good bit of fielding there. As the ball comes in, and that's an appeal for run out, and it wasn't all that far from being there.
It's good running.
It was excellent running. Score mounts 82 for no wicket. You've just joined us, and we're only in the 7th over. Sam Pearce in, bowls again, and that's 4 more runs, and Salt this time goes to cut, gets a top edge, and it's 4 more runs. I know it's been vicious on the Glamorgan attack, Steve. I've counted about 4 that have gone through the slips.
Yeah, they've had a bit of luck, haven't they?
Yeah.
But in fairness, that was slightly short and wide, wasn't it? He's just thrown his hands at it. Yeah, I mean, there have been a few edges, but there've been some good shots as well.
Pearce tosses the ball from one hand to the other, comes in from the far end, bowls that short again. well fielded young man, and hammered back to him by Phil Salt. That's the end of the over. And 86 without loss at the end of the 7th over, Nick. This sanitisation time as they rush on. I think they made up their mind though, Steve, that especially Luke Wright, that they're going to go for it tonight. There's no hanging about. They just, because they're slipping down the table. They lost last night. They only made 103 all out, and they said we've got to go for it, otherwise we're going to slip further down.
I think that's what they do all the time, these blokes, isn't it?
But these two,
well, it's not entirely their fault that if they've slipped down the table, because they've been rained off the pitch 5 times out of 10, which I think was the Glamorgan record in about 10 years ago. There was a match where there were 10 group matches and 5 of them were rained off.
No Ollie Robinson tonight. He is one of the 6 or 7 Sussex players affected by COVID. He hasn't got it, but he was close by and is in quarantine.
Indeed, the quarantine derby, as it were, with both teams suffering. Here is Salter to bowl, and Wright turns away on the leg side up towards mid-wicket. Single taken, Root with the fielding. 87 without loss. De Morgan hope to have Labuschagne and Nisa back out of quarantine tomorrow, if all is well, and fit for the game at Sussex on Sunday, as Salt hits that one up to mid-wicket, again takes the single. 88 for no wicket.
At least they won't have to bowl at Luke Wright, because he doesn't play 4-day matches.
Might make an exception after this if they're short on numbers. 88 for naught, Sussex. 8th over. Going like a train. Full toss from Salter, driven by Wright. Again to mid-wicket for the 3rd time in as many balls. It's a single out to Billy Root.
You've got the start they've had, you can afford just to knock it around for a little while, can't you? I'm not sure they'll be doing for too long, mind.
Just regrouping, as that's hit very hard at the offside and really well saved by Colin Ingram, the veteran of the Glamorgan side, at full stretch at short extra cover there.
It's a dangerous game, isn't it?
Saving probably 4 runs, as there's no one really covering. Salt to Salt, who drives up to long off. There's a slight fumble from Pearce, but he recovers quickly, and it's a single again. 90 without loss. 4 singles so far in this over, the 8th of the innings, and Sussex going at full pelt as they pursue a last 8 places. That's cut by Wright down into the ground, bounces up Chris Cook, takes it, threatens to step Wright if he'd gone wandering. He had not. Well, that is the most economical over so far from Glamorgan. 4 runs off it, but Sussex already have 90 without loss after 8.
Decent over that from Andy Salter. I mean, things will get slightly harder as the ball gets softer, as it were. But they've had such a good start that they can afford a few quieter overs.
Sam Pearce has started his 2nd over then. 90 without loss. You're about to start the 9th, and it's Pearce coming in to Salt, bowls to him, good length ball, driven down to long on, and they'll be happy with the single. He moves on to 35, go on to 91, and the fishes in the river behind Sam Pearce will be taking cover if Mr. Wright decides to go as he has, because he does hit it a very long way, especially straight. Pearce might have other ideas. Tosses this one up, and that's gone over extra cover. They'll get a couple. Not perfectly timed, and it did spin, I think, because he was trying to hit it straight.
Yeah, as I was saying earlier, it's when you're facing a leg spin that you haven't faced before, you're always slightly wary, and if they can manage to get the ball in relatively good areas, I think the batsman might be slightly circumspect early on.
Wait, right, weight. Wide. We can't get there. The right drives down to long on. A flat-batted shot. He gets another single. So, again, it's not a bad start to the over. Midway through it. Salt on 35. Faces. Plays it down. Just past fine leg. He won't go for 4, but they'll certainly get a comfortable 2 runs. And the return comes in from Douthwaite. Do you think that they should have somebody, to be fair, to be a little bit more nimbler than Douthwaite feeling that position? Anyway, we'll discuss it later. Here's the next ball. Down the pitch he comes, and that's going to be 4 runs the moment he left the bat. Salt running down to that and hitting it past the bowler. No chance at all of any chance, and that's 4 more.
It's a strong shot there, isn't it? Just shimmy down the pitch a little bit, flat batted it through long on for 4.
That's hit with it even bigger force than that's 4 between sort of cow corner and long on. You can call it slogging as you like, but as you say, Steve, they can take every chance in the book. You have a huge score coming up here.
Yeah, in fairness, it was quite a controlled hit. He knew exactly where he's trying to hit that. As you say, long on's back and deep mid wicket. There's a big gap between them. That's exactly where he's aiming. I'm not sure he quite got hold of it, but he knew exactly where he's hitting that.
Well, if you're just coming in for work, or you're just coming in for your tea or whatever, you tuned in, sorry news here is that Sussex won the toss. They elected to bat, and they're 104 for no wicket, and this after 9 overs, and Nick, we haven't reached the halfway stage.
No, Glamorgan have managed 1 decent over, haven't they, from Salter, that conceded 4 runs. Salter will continue, and Wright drives up to long on for the single. Batting to come then, Travis Head, Aaron Thomason, David Visa, Ravi Bapara, and the youngster Harrison Ward playing just his 2nd match. As Salter in, and Bowles and Salt takes a single to mid-wicket, 106 without loss. Difficult for Glamorgan to regroup, I guess, and get their heads back together. Be a few weary bodies after last night's match in Chelmsford, as that is a big heave by Wright and a miss, and again slightly ironic applause as Glamorgan beat the bat in the person of Andrew Salter.
So looks like that was an away swing in that one.
Yes. Salter bowls a low full toss that's carted towards mid-wicket. Roots gets everything behind it, and does the fielding.
Very tired bodies, Nick, because they were only in the field for 12.2 overs last night. As 100 came up for Essex.
Salter in, and Salt takes a single down to square leg. In fact, they'll come back for a second this time as Billy Root tries to pick up on the run. Can't quite do so. Roman Walker completes the fielding. 109 for naught.
I mean, he did miss field, but they were coming back for 2 anyway. There was always 2 there, I think.
Yeah, it's a fair distance to make around that mid-wicket boundary. 109 without loss, Sussex. Salt 48, Wright 58. Phil Salt, the 25-year-old from Bottlewytham, drives to long on. Carlson fields, and they'll take a single. 110 for naught. And 6 runs off the over, so Salter is doing something of a job in putting the brakes on, but you get the feeling that Glamorgan need a lot more than that. Sussex 110 for naught at halfway. Salt 49. Right, 58, Edward Bevan and Steve James.
Yeah, Salter's already finished his 4 overs in those 10 overs that have been bowled. He bowled 4 overs, 0 for 31. And he's one of every bowler has been punished heavily. Walker, Douthwaite, Lloyd and Pearce. And we've got a change of bowling. it's Weighell coming on at the far end, and he is going to be brought into Philip Salt. Needs one for his 50. And in comes the first ball, and that's played up to long on, and that is his 50. An equally good innings by Phil Salt. 27 balls, 8 fours in that. Raises this back to the crowd. Top still play a few shots now. 50 apiece.
I'm just about to say, shudder to think what could happen here.
Yes.
I mean, you just hope that Glamorgan can get 1 or 2 wickets and start to peg it back. But the longer these two at the crease, you do worry a little bit.
Weighell hasn't had a successful season at all with the ball. Let's see if he can do anything tonight. He's coming in to right, bowls to him, bowls it short, and that's going to be 4 runs. Surely, why do you bowl it halfway down the wicket? I don't know.
It's a bit of a top edge, hasn't it? He's obviously got the fine leg is up, but I mean that's a very high bounce, and you only just got to get something on that, and that's going to fly over the keeper or fly over the short fine leg.
Crowd are rather hushed tonight, not surprising.
Well, they haven't got much to shed about, I'm afraid, at the moment, unless they're from Sussex.
In comes Weighell again, and bowls, and that's played an inside-out shot there by right. He gets a single.
Yeah, I mean, Midoff's up there. He was trying to get that between Midoff and an extra cover, wasn't he? Gave himself some room. It was a low full toss.
What do you make of the wicket, Joe?
I think it looks a decent pitch, doesn't it? But I think when you've bowled a good length, there's been a little bit in it, I think. Just haven't bowled a good length very often.
Weighell in, bowls. That's hammered again. That's not going to be 4, but they'll come back and they'll have to run here hard. That would have been out, I think. Weighell tried to flick it back onto the stump very much as he ran.
Yeah, that was. I saw that against Surrey. That was brilliant. That was.
Yeah, from Weighell. Yeah, he just flicked it on.
Yeah, no, that was very.
He tried to do the same thing, and I suspect that right would have been run out there had he hit.
I'm not sure, Edward, but yeah, he was trying to do the same thing, and that was brilliant. I saw that the other night against Surrey.
118 without loss is the score in the 11th over, and it's Weighell coming in. Bowls, and that's flicked around the corner, half volley, leg stump. Thank you very much. 4 runs.
6.
Oh, took my head away. I've seen enough. It's gone for 6.
It's just a bad line. He's just helped it on his way. There's a short boundary there to that sort of long leg area. Drifted down the leg side, picked it up. This is absolute carnage.
Well, we thought last night was abysmal.
I mean, it can be hard to come back from a night like last night, but I think it was good they picked the same side. You just say, look, you've got to go out and play better. Unfortunately, that hasn't happened.
Here is Weighell again. Comes in and bowls. Flips up. Didn't try to play the same shot, but didn't really time it. Single. That's 11 overs gone. 124 without loss. Wright is on 63 and Salt is on 58.
What do we think we're going to get here then?
20?
Yeah. What's been the highest score this season here in T20, Nick?
I think 200.
I think we may well go past that.
Oh yes.
We can say that for certain, I think. Glamorgan just desperately need a wicket and just hope it's hard for someone new coming in.
We saw at Bristol 216 for 2. So I think that might be broken tonight.
It was the first match of the season. I think it was the highest one here, wasn't it? Was 179 for Gloucestershire, just proving enough. Glamorgan 175.
A friend of mine on Twitter, Richard Blight, who used to go to school with Monmouth, he's asking where that power play today sort of ranks this season in terms of highest power plays. It must be up there, I reckon.
Oh, it has to be 77, yeah.
Here's Pearce then to ball to Salt, who drives through the offside. There's a chase for Callum Taylor. He picks up well inside the extra cover boundary and somehow keeps them down to a single.
Well, I didn't even know to chase this, Steve. 200 whatever it'll be.
126 for naught, 12th over. Sussex, since the start really, have been battering along at average of 10, 11 runs and over. And educational stuff for some Pearce, 23-year-old Bridgend born, captained Cardiff MCCU and Wales National County. Pearce bowls again. This one swung up towards long on, and it beats the jump of Carlson.
Beautiful shot.
Just inside the ropes. Well, played Carl Jamieson there, the New Zealander who played against Glamorgan the other night. He might have caught it.
I mean, in fairness, bowling spin at Cardiff is not easy with these short straight boundaries, is it? That's why England rarely play two spinners. T20 games here.
Next delivery from Pearce. Rips in the pitch a little bit, and it's played defensively for once.
I mean, that was a decent shot over long on, but it was hardly a massive hit, was it?
No.
Pearce in to bowl on leg stump and helped away by Wright. Just a single down to backward square. 133 for naught. Sussex.
Walked in today to the ground with the great Alan Jones, Steve, and his wife. He came up here to have a look.
36,000 first class runs.
Yeah, he didn't play any of this, and he didn't particularly want to, I don't think, Alan.
Pearce bowls, and that's hit straight to backward point by Salt. Another dot ball.
He'd have been running down to the spinners, Alan.
Yeah.
He did like running down the spinners and backing them back over the head. He'd have been alright at this, I reckon, Al.
133 for naught, as that sort of full toss that's hit up towards long off and bisects long on and long off. Phil Salt, and it is 137 without loss after 12 overs.
I mean, you feel a little bit sorry for Pearce.
Of course you do.
He's on a bit of a hide into nothing here. He hasn't bowled too badly, in fairness, but he's just come on in a situation where Sussex are like a runaway train, I think.
I have to do this, I'm sorry, but I'll go through some bowling figures.
Oh dear, it's not after 9 o'clock, Edward. Parents of impressionable youngsters, please cover your ears.
Salter has bowled out 4 overs for 31. Walker 2 overs for 29. Douthwaite 1 over for 9. Lloyd 1 over for 17. Pearce has bowled 3 overs for 35, and Weighell bowled 1 over for 14. Who has been taken off, and Douthwaite is coming back to bowl at the river end. Figures that bear any resemblance to accuracy is there. 1 over for 9. And he's bowling to Wright, who is eyeing up 100, I think, tonight. In he comes and bowls to him. That has gone high in the air, and that has gone. Yes, he's out to the ground, I think. See, I think that's what he went with it.
About 2 or 3 rows back, I think it bounced. Callum Taylor, there he is, picking up off the second row.
I don't think I've seen an innings like this for many, many years in this competition, as quick and as fierce.
I don't think he didn't really get hold of that. I think initially Luke Wright thought he was out there, but they are short, those straight boundaries. Went up a long way, that shot.
Not out 76, he's faced 39 balls. And it's 143 for no wicket as Dan Douthwaite turns again. Comes in over the wicket, past the umpire now, and bowls, and that's the full toss. It's pulled out to mid-on. I think full toss, it's not a bad, a low full toss in this sort of cricket. This is only the 13th over.
I've seen a few shots already.
Sussex openers creating havoc here. There's Douthwaite in now to Salt. Bowls to him. Bowls him off stump, and a huge roar from the crowd. Well, Salt is looking at. It's a straight ball, pal, and off we go. He looks back, and well, it was a good innings. He was very much behind his partner, but he did contribute 63, and that has given him an absolutely flying start. But although I shouldn't say this, I don't think Ravi Bopara or Travis Head coming next can score quite as quickly as that.
I think that was a slow ball, wasn't it? I think it might have actually turned a bit. I think that's what I saw, maybe looking in the pitch like that.
So Phil Salt departs with his white hair, and looking bad at that. He just held up. Delphicate gets his first wicket of the innings.
Well, I was just about to look up his highest score in T20 cricket, which is 78, so he hasn't got there. Luke Wright's highest score in T20 cricket,
Russell at 100.
is a Sussex record. It's a bit more than 100, Steve. It's 153. It's the county's record, which is 37 more than the Glamorgan record, held by Money and Thomas.
Taunton.
I've never heard him talk about that.
No.
He's never mentioned it.
No.
Well, the new batsman is the former England all-rounder Ravi